Hello, guys. Welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back, the lads. Welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. This is Evening Arsenal, the Evening Arsenal show. I'm so sorry I've been a little bit away and, for reasons I can really explain. But we won't get into that. We need to get into Arsenal news. A couple of stories have been flying here and there, especially on the fact that Arsenal won their first game against Norwich. We will be diving into that a little bit. We did win our first game, by the way, of the season. That was massive. Absolutely massive. But a couple of stories to discuss on the podcast this evening. Arsenal and Saka. Fabrizio Romano coming out and saying that Saka is one of those players that big teams have started to target. Would we sell Saka? Jack Wilshere coming back to train with the club. We will talk about that. The goalkeeping situation. Leno and Ramsdale, who should be Arsenal's number one. Of course, stories coming in from Germany have already indicated that it looks like Leno is going to come back in goal against Tottenham Hotspur. We spoke about that. There's so many things. If you want to speak about Leno and Ramsdale, if you want to think about it, there's so many things you can think about in that regard. But we speak about that one. We speak about that one as well. How are you guys? How have you been doing? I've been a little bit on and off, but back again with another episode and back again with another one of our daily shows, the Good Evening Arsenal show. Right, so let's get into it. Let's start off with Fabrizio Romano, who said that Arsenal are actually, wow, this is interesting. But Romano on the Here We Go podcast said Arsenal youngster Bukayo Saka is wanted by a couple of top clubs. Interesting, isn't it? A couple of top clubs have started approaching. They have started approaching Bukayo Saka. They want to get his signature. And that comes, for me, that comes as no coincidence. It's not really a big coincidence, based on the fact that we know there's so many clubs out there are now trying to sign young talent. Most of the clubs, if you look at how much young talents, how much young players are going for, it really makes a lot of sense that a club will spot Bukayo Saka. Now, this club is not. We do not know which club exactly wants Bukayo Saka most, but a couple of top clubs, top clubs, including the likes of Manchester City, I'll presume PSG, I'll presume Real Madrid as well, I'll presume and Chelsea. I think those are the big clubs. I can presume. But the big question for me is, if Saka was to move, where would he go? Which clubs would be interested in getting in Bukayo Saka? And in my opinion, I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I think Manchester City would be the club that would be much interested. We know they do love getting in the young English talent, and they have a manager that sees the best out of the young lads. I could think about Liverpool, but I don't see Liverpool going out to want Saka, especially with the price tag that could come along with the interest. Now, my big question, and where we're going to speak about this, is how much would you sell Bukayo Saka? Would you even consider selling Bukayo Saka as an Arsenal fan? Because personally, I would. So the full story comes from Fabrizio Romano, who says that top clubs have actually started approaching Bukayo Saka, but he is untouchable according to Arsenal. So Arsenal believe the player is untouchable. We are not selling Saka. He is not up for sale. That is the response, and that is the feeling and mood around Arsenal, and general reaction on all the talk and the crap that Saka is wanted by big clubs, top clubs around the world in terms of playing for them. So For me, there are a couple of things I have to look at before saying no, we do not sell Saka, or before saying yes, we should sell Saka. The first one is, what is his real valuation? That's the big question, and that's the question I've asked you on the show today. What is Saka's real valuation? How much, at how much do we really value Saka? What is his real valuation? Do you look at him as a player who would probably be around 100 million, 200 million, 300 million, 400 million? What would be Saka's real valuation? I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section. But personally, I know he's 20, he's English, he's performing at a top level, he's consistent, he's already featuring with the English national team, was in the Euros 2020 or 2021, whichever way you want to phrase it. He's not going below. I think the real valuation of Saka at the moment, if anyone came for him, should be 100 million. How many people do agree with me? I think if anyone wants to buy Saka, it should be 100 million. Nothing more, nothing less. If you feel like you want the player, you want the talent, because at the moment for Saka, you're not really buying a finished article. We do know you're not buying a finished article. He's a very good player, exciting, but you're buying potential, right? You're buying potential. You're buying a 21-year-old, a 20-year-old who has just turned 20, has had almost 90 plus appearances as a teenager for Arsenal, and Arsenal have had a full season crawling on the back of this young teenager. So if you're gonna buy Saka, it doesn't come cheap. 100 million or more. That is what we are looking at. That is what we should be looking at. Anyone out there who thinks Arsenal should be getting anything less than 100 million, you're damn crazy. You absolutely damn crazy. But for me, there are two perspectives and there are two lenses in which you could see this. One is, you do not sell Saka because you're building something for the future. You want to get a group of young players playing together, so that at the end of the day, you develop a project that the fans are waiting for. Because that is the idea Mikel Arteta and Edu, that's the idea they have sold to us. That's the idea they have given to us. The Arsenal is actually, building something for the future. And I don't know how many people bought into it, but it looks like now we have, it's sinking in. We are buying into it, right? It looks like Arsenal is now a team that is preparing for the future. Because if you look at if you look at the likes of Aubameyang, Lokonga, Saka, and a couple of others, these young players is the project. That is the project. So if you sell one young player at the moment, it definitely doesn't make any sense, does it? It doesn't make any sense. If you sell one young player now, if you sell Saka, if we just became crazy and sold Saka, then it makes the whole project, young Arsenal and developing things like that, a lie. It makes it an absolute lie. And that's why, personally, I think it doesn't make sense. There is no way you qualify it when you sell Saka. If you sell Saka, you just demolish the idea of Arsenal getting, better in the future. Because they have told us at the moment we cannot spend 70, 80 million on one player. We can't spend 80 million on James Maddison, but what we can do is we can raise a Bukayo Saka. We can raise, the young players. So Project Young Arsenal dies if you sell, a player like Saka, because he's one of the strongest in there. Actually, he's one of the best young players we've got in the squad. Not only best young players, but one of the best players we have got in the squad. So he is untouchable in that regard. But the other angle, which would be a little bit crazy, is if we sold Saka and we use the perspective of Liverpool, they sold Sterling. Because for me, Saka is our Sterling. Saka is our Raheem Sterling. If we sell Saka, right? If we sell Bukayo Saka and sell Who else could you sell in that team? Probably Saka. 100 million. Say you sell Saka 100 million. That could actually help. If that money is reinvested in the squad, it would actually take us closer to our goal. It would actually take us closer and faster to where we want to be. Because that is, I think that is what Arsenal are planning. That is what we are looking at. We are looking at a project that develops together. If you sell Saka for 100 million and you bring in a central midfielder for 40 million and you bring in a striker for 40 million and you bring in an attacking midfielder for probably 20 million, you're arriving faster, you're sacrificing, you use Saka as a sacrifice to reach faster to where you're going. Well, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, for me to reason like that. But it could also be something that happens, right? It could be something that happens. Arsenal sell Saka for 100 million and reinvest that money in the squad better. Because at the moment, we have the foundation. We just need the cream. You need the cream. We do not have the cream at the moment. So what we need is the cream. And for me to get that cream, we might need to reinvest. You might need to invest. Now, that would be looking at things, or that would be looking at selling Saka as an opportunity. Now, I know many Arsenal fans really don't see that as a big opportunity, but it would be an opportunity if you thought about it. Sell Saka, reinvest in the squad. Because just imagine if you sold Saka for 100 million and then brought in probably, wow, the problem is everyone is expensive in the market. Everyone is expensive in the market. But if you sold Saka for 100 million and brought in our Sam Aouar for 20 million euros, that's a good central midfielder there. Very, very good central midfielder out there. Then you move forward. You want a striker. You're looking at probably Lautaro Martinez, and you bring in Lautaro Martinez for 80 million. Saka alone buying you Houssem Aouar and Lautaro Martinez. That is good business for me. That is good business because both of them are still young. Both of them are still young, and they're vital. They're essential. And instead of Saka, probably we could use Gabi Martinelli around there, and it could still work out. Now, I'm not really saying we should sell Saka. I'm not really saying Arsenal should sell Saka because it would be absolutely crazy to hear in any Arsenal fans' ears. But my assumption is if you want to get fast, if you want to get to your destination faster, like Liverpool did, because many people do not remember that Liverpool sacrificed Coutinho. Many people do not remember that Liverpool actually sacrificed Raheem Sterling. They don't remember. They sold Sterling to Manchester City, reinvested that money in the likes of Sadio Mane and a couple of others. They sold out Philippe Coutinho to Barcelona. Yes, their money has not been paid fully at the moment, but they invested that money well. The likes of Mane came in, the likes of Salah came in, the likes of Roberto Firmino came in, and they won the Champions League. And they won the league. So, I mean, it would be so rude and negative if I just came out and said, sell Saka, we need to get better. I mean, it's so rude to such a player because we know the dreams of Saka as a young player is, I want to play for Arsenal someday. I want to be a big thing in Arsenal. And that's why he works hard each and every day to become a better player and to become a better player for Arsenal and to see Arsenal as a better player. We've seen him on a couple of occasions when we lose games as Arsenal Football Club. He comes out and says, we are sorry, Arsenal fans. You don't deserve this. This was absolutely not called for. We're very, very sorry, right? We're very, very sorry. And deep down in my heart, I want to believe, these are the young, these are the kind of players we need. The young players who are compassionate, the young players who want to be at Arsenal. But at the end of the day, I want to believe, and I want to say this, I still think Arsenal, as a big football club, you've got to take some ruthless decisions. I mean, one wrong decision links to leads to another wrong decision. For example, if we sell Saka at the moment, and the money, we do not reinvest the money, that's a wrong decision. But if we keep Saka, we reject 100 million, and we stay in the same place, for me, that's another wrong decision. What I would prefer and what I would go for personally as a person is, if you want to sell Saka, if you want to sell Bukayo, make it right, make it make sense. No one, no one in that Arsenal side will refuse getting in a Lautaro Martinez, because it's a prolific striker, and he's that kind of striker that you think Arsenal do not have. That profile of player that you think Arsenal do not have. Not think, but we know we do not have such a player, right? So if we brought in Lautaro Martinez and Housham Aouar and Partey in the pivot, Aouar and Lokonga in the pivot, wherever it is, and then you get in Lautaro Martinez or Alexander Isak up front, it makes a lot of sense. Yes, we have lost Saka, but we've gotten a goal scoring man, and we have also gotten a goal creating machine. That's what you want. That is how you move forward. And I really love the Liverpool model. That's it. I really love the Liverpool model. Now I don't understand. Many of you have said it here in the chat that Kosi, he's untouchable and he is priceless. Let's see. Quincy says keep Saka. He says keep Saka. And then Standard Harun Asses says he is priceless. Now, yes, I do understand. We love Saka, including me, a lot. He's one player that many Arsenal fans out there do love in excess. We love him in excess. I don't think there can be a day where you just wake up and say, we are tired of Saka, let him go. I don't think, right? But if you want to be a big club, you've got to take such opportunities. Arsenal do not have an owner that can, just come in and splash cash, but we have got some little assets that we can use to rebuild our team. That's it. It's the same thing I wanted with Alexander Lacazette. Sell him and get in Hudson-Odoi. Yes, Hudson-Odoi might not, just come and become that big man in one season. But I think Hudson-Odoi has a big ceiling. And if he works out at Crystal Palace, I won't be surprised if Palace make some 20 or 30 million in terms of profit, right? I think it doesn't hurt Arsenal to be a selling club if that is the way we go back to the Champions League. If that is the way we get to run our club well. If that's the way we get to compete again, we can be that selling club. My problem with being a selling club is replacing our players poorly or not replacing them at all. It's happened with the likes of Santi Cazorla, Aaron Ramsey. They just went on a free and we didn't replace them. The likes of Robin Van Persie, who replaced Robin Van Persie? The likes of Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil. You've got to replace these players. It's not bad to be a selling club. Sell Samuel Nasri, sell Cesc Fabregas, and sell Alexander Sombelong. It's okay. It's absolutely fine. But replace them well. I think Dortmund have that model, and they are absolutely doing it well. You don't have to sell, because my problem with Arsenal is they sell, within 5 years, they will sell 10. They'll sell 8 players if they had them. That is the problem. If you want to be a selling club and you want to run your business well, next summer, you sell Saka, 100 million, and you bring in 2 players, right? You bring in 2 players. That's it. The coming summer, you don't sell anyone. You leave the squad to be together. You leave the squad to develop together. And it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? After that, getting this squad to be together, fine. Then you can do whatever you want. In the coming summers, you could sell another one. Probably Smith was arrived. You could sell him because you need the money to run. Kroenke is never going to give you the money, so you need the money to run. You could sell Emil Smith Rowe. Make sure if you sell Emil Smith Rowe, you replace him well. It's what Dortmund are doing. They have Jude Bellingham, and many people think Bellingham has been at Dortmund for 5-10 years. Bellingham has been at Dortmund for 2 fucking seasons, and so good. They have lost Jadon Sancho, who has not yet started doing the lightning at Manchester United. Guess what? They have Giovanni Reina, who's already doing it well. So as you groom the likes of Omar Hutchinson to become great players, then you can sell some of them and bring in some experienced players. I think it would make sense. But my problem with Arsenal is, and why I don't want us to sell Saka, is Arsenal is a very poorly run club. Absolutely poorly run. And what's going to happen with Arsenal is they will sell Saka and they will sit back and say, you know what? We have Gabriel Martinelli there. We have Pepe there. I think we don't need to reinvest. We have Odegaard. We have Emil Smith Rowe. And now that means that's a step back. Because for me, I look at selling a player like Saka for 100 million as a simple way of take one step back and then 2 steps in front. That's what that is the way I look at it. Take 1 step back, 2 steps in front. Yes, we have sold Saka. It's crazy. Everyone will say, "Oh, this is crazy. How can Arsenal do that?" It's absolutely crazy. But everyone will be surprised if you sold Saka and brought in Jude Bellingham. Everybody will be surprised. Like, well, that's good business. I think Arsenal have done good business because Bellingham is a top class midfielder. Getting in Jude Bellingham is lit. Or sell Saka, you get in Bissouma, number 1. You go out there getting a good striker, number 2. That is good business. And for me, that is what I call good business. When Arsenal or when any other club like Leicester City, they have done it well, I think, over the years. They have absolutely done it well. They absolutely done it well. They lose Harry Maguire for 80 million. They'll bring in a Soyuncu somewhere, and he will bridge the gap. I don't think Leicester City are very, are very poor defensive wise. Not ever since they lost Harry Maguire and brought in Soyuncu and a couple of other young players. I think they're doing well. I don't know if it's too much credit to them, but they're doing well. But anyway, I know he's untouchable. And Fabrizio Romano says Bukayo Saka is untouchable. That's what he says. I think that is where many Arsenal fans, would breathe in and out and say, "Wow." So he's untouchable. He is part of the Arsenal side that's gonna be, doing well. Thanks everybody for welcoming me back. I really do appreciate. I've been saying to people since last year, I can see Saka at City within 3 years, and it could happen. It could happen because when you invest 157 million, and that money is from Stan Kroenke, right? If you invest 157 million and that money is from Stan Kroenke, at some point in time, he might need to take his money back. And you know what's going to happen with that? That's it. He might start selling some of the players and we have nothing to do about it. Keep Saka is the best thing that has happened to Arsenal in the last 18 months. All right. And Praise says, there should be another way, please. This is Stephen. Now, I was just trying to propose a couple of hypotheses. I didn't really say we should and definitely sell Saka. I was trying to just propose a couple of hypotheses. Of course, there are so many ways you could get Arsenal to his target a little bit earlier. There's so many. We need to keep him, Kosi. We missed you. Will Arsenal be sold really? Really can't answer the last question, but I missed you too, guys. Hope you're doing well. Kosi, you're right about selling Saka and reinvesting the money rightly. But my worry is our management is not capable of investing money rightly. So to me, as per now, Arsenal would keep. Yeah, definitely. You got me right, Andrew. You got me right. And that says it all. That absolutely says it all. If Arsenal could reinvest the money well, I would I would be very I would be more than open to the idea of selling the lad. I would sacrifice him. I would make him our own Raheem Sterling. Sell him, build the team. Sell him, build the team. You know. But can Arsenal do that? Can Arsenal build the team? That's the big question. Can Arsenal really build the team? You know, that's the problem. They're never gonna do that. Are they? They're never. They'll just keep on, making excuses, empty promises, and then the money will actually, will actually go to waste. So I can't really trust Arsenal to do the job. I really can't trust Arsenal to do the job. So we'd rather keep Saka. We'd rather keep Saka, and no, we're having a young, slowly developing project because it is there. It's there. It might, it might not happen in the way that many Arsenal fans want it to happen, but it is there. There is something there. Right? Do smash a like on the video, people. Thanks everybody for doing that. Make sure you smash a like on the video and tell me where you're watching from as well. We're back with these live streams and they're gonna be a little bit more regular than they have been. All right. Okay. Because you kid me for being too silent, but thank God you're back. I'm back. I'm absolutely back. For you guys. I'm absolutely back. There's so many comments, and I'll try to get into your comments a little later on. Now, the second story I want us to talk about is Leno and Ramsdale. Yeah. Ban Leno and Aaron Ramsdale. Now, there's so many things that I love about Arsenal. There's so many things. I mean, at times we're a little bit. At times we're we're a little bit, messy, aren't we? But there is now. It seems our goalkeeping situation is getting into a mess. Today, a report has actually come out indicating that Ban Leno will be Arsenal's number one, and the games against Norwich and Burnley will be the only games that Aaron Ramsdale spends in goal. Right? That is according to Christian Folk, who says Arteta promised Ban Leno that he will get back to number one after 2 games of rest, after a resting period of 2 match days, which is not bad, really, in my opinion. It's not really bad that we rest Saka. Sorry, we rest Leno. It's not really bad, and I think it's absolutely good for him because his form has been dropping and dropping and dropping. So if we rest him, it's really not a bad thing. It's absolutely not a bad thing. However, I do have concerns about our goalkeeping situation. My first question is, who would you keep in goal? Would you keep Leno in goal, or would you rather keep Aaron Ramsdale in goal? We've seen Aaron Ramsdale on 2 occasions where he has kept clean sheets and he's been playing. Let's be fair to Leno. Leno's played against Brentford, Manchester City, and Chelsea. Ramsdale's played Norwich and where's the other club he played? And that was in the Carabao Cup. Just forgetting the name of that club, where we won 6-0, right? So to come out and say, oh, look at Ramsdale. Ramsdale has 2 clean sheets in 2 appearances, and Leno has no clean sheet in 3 appearances this season, it's absolutely bogus. The quality of the opponent absolutely differs. Manchester City, Chelsea, Romelu Lukaku, Ferran Torres, Gabriel Jesus, and Guardiola, they're very different. It's a different level. It's a different level. So we have to agree that we have not seen Ramsdale being tested on a real stage, right? He's a goalkeeper with no doubt, and so is Leno. So the big question is, who starts for Arsenal? Who was to start for Arsenal? And where exactly should Mikel Arteta put his trust? Should it be in Leno? Should it be in Ramsdale? I need answers from you there in the chat. One thing I don't want to see is I don't want to see Arsenal getting out there having 1-2 goalkeepers that are that are having interchange that are being interchanged every now and then. That is absolutely dangerous. That is dangerous, and I don't want to say it. I don't want to see that, and I hope it never happens, and I hope it doesn't happen. I don't want to see Arsenal going out there and then starting that bull crap of, today Leno played against Tottenham. In the next game against Crystal Palace, Ramsdale plays. It's shit. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. It's absolute shit. And you know what? Whoever feels, we should use them interchangeably. You are wrong. You're absolutely wrong. We need to have a number one goalkeeper. Last season we said we need a squad. We need a good squad, and we agreed that Arsenal need to get a number one starting 11. We need to have a starting 11 that is capable of playing together. A number 11 that is capable of playing a couple of games. That was Mikel Arteta's problem. It wasn't ours, because he failed to identify 11 players that could consistently play together. Now it looks like Arsenal and Mikel could actually get their 11. We could actually get our starting 11. My question is, who is the goalkeeper of that 11? Because if you look at the back line, it's sorted out. The midfield pivot, Partey, either Xhaka or Lukonga, I think that is also sorted out to some extent. Odegaard and Smith Rowe, there is a little row there, but it could be sorted out as well. Then you have and a couple of other players. It could be sorted out. It could absolutely be sorted out. I have no doubts. I have no nothing against it. It could be sorted out. So my problem is I don't want to see one goalkeeper in goal today and another in goal tomorrow. If we get a goalkeeper, if it's Ramsdale, it should be Ramsdale. If it is Leno, then it should be Leno. And I know many people agree with me, because the danger of playing and interswitching goalkeepers, nobody doesn't know, right? Nobody doesn't know the danger of interswitching goalkeepers. It's absolutely deadly and dangerous. So in my opinion, which is not very correct, you could tell me in the comments who should be our number one. But in my opinion, which I said shouldn't be very correct, is Leno should be our number one. Yeah, Leno should be our number one. I think with a decent defense up front, in front of him, I think Leno could be a decent goalkeeper. And I still think he's a decent goalkeeper, and I think he's a good shot stopper. I don't know what other people think, but I think Leno is a good shot stopper. Ramsdale is not any different. Good. But I keep Leno. Ramsdale is back up, and we see what happens in the summer. That's it. I don't want us to create roars and wrangles in the team, right? That's not what I want. I want us to have a settled team on the pitch and out of the pitch. So I keep Leno in goal. Keep Leno in goal. Ramsdale is a very good backup. If Leno messes up, kick him out. Bring in Ramsdale. If it's gonna be Ramsdale, keep Ramsdale in goal. I have no problem with either of them. Good goalkeepers. I think Leno has had this kind of I don't want to say mismanagement, but he has had a bad run. Yeah, but I also think the goals that he has conceded, the blame falls squarely on the shoulders of that defense. Manchester City, the goals we conceded, those are stupid goals. You could avoid them. We could avoid that. So I still think Leno stays in goal. I would love to see what you people have said in the chat ever since I started the chat. Hello, Kosi. How are you today? How are you doing, Okot? I hope you guys are doing really, really well. I'm fine. I'm actually doing well. I'm actually doing absolutely, absolutely fine. Just looking for a better way to put my comments. Would that work? Would that work for me? My wood. Okay, I'll use that. Hi, Kasi. How are you, Matthew? Hope you're doing well. Hello. How are you doing, Lowe's? Are you good? Long time, Kasi. Long time, bro. Hope you're doing well. Long time, Kosis. Long time, Moses. Welcome again. Thank you so much, Joff. Welcome back, Kosi. Thank you so much. Arias, we've been missing you. Thank you so much. I'm back. I missed you too. Long time. Thank you, Regan. I'm back. Keep Saka. J Kingdom says, "Do you reckon we will sell Leno in the next?" Yeah, I reckon Arsenal. I reckon Arsenal will sell Leno. I think when you get in a goalkeeper worth 24, 28, 30 million, that means you want to replace the existing goalkeeper, don't you? Yeah. So I reckon one of them will leave. Saka is priceless. What's the problem with him at our club? Saka doesn't have a problem. And I want you guys to get me right. Saka doesn't have a problem. I would only sell him to reinvest in the squad and make it better. That's it. If we cannot reinvest in the squad to make it better, don't sell him. Okay? That's it. Don't sell him. That's it. So I'm not really selling Saka because there is a problem. Due to he is young, 180 million, according to Eric, worth 180 million. Cost a long time to you, long time, Joel. No, Joab says, welcome back, Kosi. Thank you so much. Stella says, hi, Kosi, what's up? You've been, how have you been? I don't see that happening unless we are crazy. I mean, Arsenal has always made these decisions, really. We have always had these decisions, and they have always happened, and in a way that you cannot even imagine. If he wants to go, forcing things is not good. He doesn't want to go. There is nothing like he wants to go. There's nothing like that. Nothing at the moment. Good evening, Kosi. Good evening to you. Hope you guys are doing well. We are back. So let a friend tell a friend to tell a friend that we are always back at 9 p.m. It will be the Good Evening Arsenal, the Evening Arsenal show. I wanted to name it the Good Evening Arsenal, but we will call it the Evening Arsenal, and then we shall have the Morning Arsenal show. I think that those would be good shows. We shall have our podcast, the Super Arsenal podcast, and the Arsenal Transfer Show podcast as well. Right. Hey, hope you're doing well. To me, Leno should be our first choice. Kosi, you're quiet nowadays. They can if the club is sold. I mean, Uganda, absolutely. Arsenal is a great club. So embarrassing. All right. Leno is okay, but isn't good on. Yeah, I think that's his problem. Playing out from the back. We know that. Playing out from the back. Leno should be our number one, please. Now, I mean, there's so many people who still feel Leno has let them down. I felt like that. I felt that at some point in time, but I still think he needs to get a chance. Now, you've been a very great audience, guys. It's the Evening Arsenal show. Tune in on a daily basis at exactly 9 p.m. I'll be here on a daily basis, Monday to Sunday. Evening Arsenal. Tomorrow, I'll speak to you tomorrow in the Morning Arsenal show. It will be at exactly 11 a.m. in the morning. Think it makes a lot of sense. 11 a.m. in the morning. I'll speak to you then.